briefly here. I believe we have Mifa joining us now. How are you doing, Mifa?
Hey, right on cue as the match actually just finished and another one comes. This is going to be interesting knowing that the next one is going to be Australia and Netherlands.
I think this is a lineup that doesn't really need an explanation. Australia, I do believe Oct is here this time, especially after last week when they did lose 3-5 to Ireland. The absence of Oct definitely did hurt them as well. Netherlands as well in the losers bracket, losing 5-1 to USA. So, as I did probably mention, this is a losers bracket match. So, going to be playing with fire again. One of these teams will get burned, one of these teams will shine brightly and move on to the losers bracket quarterfinals. So, I'm very interested to see how this one turns out. Seems that Australia do seem to be the favourites for this match, but Netherlands could definitely pull a few surprises against them. What do you think, Mifa?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Knowing, I think the circumstance that I feel like they should be mentioned that Australia in around the 32 they did have their quite a lot of actually they don't have their carry. I think in this case it would be opt for. I Most of the time on the round of 32 it has been Lingsar and Willow, which has been playing for Australia for round 32. In this case, though, I've heard at least that Opt4 is back right now, so they should be playing for like maybe all of the picks. So I think they have a much better chance of winning, definitely for most of the picks. But it is also a entirely separate matter, knowing that their opponent is also very much capable of doing this kind of pool.
Absolutely. Just seeing the scores Netherlands was able to put up against USA last week, they put up some really strong scores, especially even taking a point off USA as well. Tyronics and Monster are the two players to look out for on the side of Netherlands, especially with their accuracy as well being very scary.
But yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Hybrid 3 being the Australia's Protect is interesting to me because I don't think we have ever seen Hybrid 3 being the Protect, because you would mostly spend the Protects on most of the conventional picks, and Hybrid 3 is not one of them. And Hybrid 3 is going to be just trying to actually inject some unpredictability in terms of kind of picks. And I think Netherlands, on the other hand, they're protecting LN Coordination, Jinli Chao, for LN2, which is kind of interesting in my eyes, at least.
I actually am kind of curious to see LN2 on the side of Netherlands. Kind of looking at last week's performance, it did seem that Australia was slightly more consistent on the side of some of the LNs, but that might just be for coordination and physical, as of course they're going to be banning LN density, so they might just be better on the coordination release side compared to more to physical side. And LN1 is going to be taken out the equation by Australia. Does make sense, especially that Netherlands has the LN2 Protect.
Actually, this is actually shaping to be a somewhat odd of a ban for me, especially. I think Netherlands banning LN3 is kind of odd, but at the same time, it's understandable. But I feel like having LN2 Protect and EX2 being left out in the open is kind of a bold move, in my opinion. And Australia just banning out on one is also pretty much understandable, knowing that they don't really want to mess on the Ellen side of things. But Australia's first pick being Totetsu Bonbon, which is the Rise 5 of a slightly more technical route. I think Australia is pretty much targeted some of that unpredictability, and I think this tech pick in general encompasses quite a lot of variety in terms of snapping and whatnot. And it definitely has some funky patterns in it too.
Absolutely. This is definitely the least physical Rice map, but as you said, technically, and a lot of the snappings as well, could throw any of these players off guard if they aren't ready.
Yeah, that now I feel like Australia is at full force now. Now with all four back in to step in, I feel like I think in round of 32's absent has been pretty much missed out, and I think that's that might have been the cost of Australia being moved over to the lower bracket for the round of 16. It's definitely gonna have some redemption going forward.
Again, as said last week as well, Australia do have that very big potential to be a big threat in the losers bracket, especially coming up against a team as strong as the Netherlands as well. But about this map as well, you also have to kind of watch out that you don't get tunnel visioned into focusing too much on accuracy. We have seen this in a few of the matches before where you do hard focus on accuracy a lot and it does end up getting you a few misses in return. And combo is going to be very important in a map like this, especially in the round of 16 as well, where we're still in that early game territory.
As far as early game goes, this is just far and away just one of the right speed that you kinda just trying to play, pretty much going with the flow really. And then I feel like the first miss coming out from Tyronics from Netherlands is definitely not being the one that you really want to miss, and apparently All4 trades it out, so it's pretty much on par for the course. It's just top row and bottom row at this point.
Exactly. And the map is going to be starting to kick off now. We're seeing a lot more of those snappings. But Tyronics is kind of struggling to keep up with the accuracy, while Act 4 is definitely climbing a bit back up. Also kind of struggling to keep onto that combo, which is going to be giving the advantage to Australia. Lynx is going to be finding a drop as well, but more of a cleaner drop compared to the side of Netherlands.
Yeah, actually no full combos across the lobby. Monster taking multiple mistakes here, actually. Now dropping to just under 99. Just around Tyronics' accuracy at all the both 99s and 98s, pretty much.
Absolutely. And we still have the final third of the map to go through with a 33,000 point lead. Still possible for a comeback, especially that the ending does throw everything at you. But with Australia's consistency, I'm not sure if it's possible. Tyronics does find another miss before going into the final quarter, so it's going to be hard for Netherlands to kind of make a comeback at this stage.
Yeah, this is the part that we're actually just trying to inject quite a lot of different patterns in between, a lot of polyrhythmic structure, and I think this really what excels Australia at this point. They've been keeping combo from this entire ending, which I think Netherlands seems to have a lack of grasp in terms of accuracy, and this is pretty much very clear in Australia's favor. It's going to be 1-0 for this onward, and Netherlands will have to pick smarter this time around, because knowing that the physicality isn't quite there yet, even though the ratios I feel like is pretty much comparable.
Absolutely. Honestly, kind of looking at it, they might have just not found a groove yet. Especially kind of looking more at the start where they were dropping a lot of 200s from early hits. That could also be due to some nerves. So hopefully Netherlands might be able to, tune up a small bit and pick into whatever they're feeling comfortable with next.
There's the LN2 protect there from Netherlands, which I think it might as well be as good as any time to pick it right away, and maybe try go for like EX2 right out of the gate, knowing that that's the only LN pick left after after Chili Chow. So they only have two options. Whether or not they are capable of doing that is another question.
I'm not really too sure on what Netherlands can go into. Now, do Netherlands want to jump into Rice, or maybe Hybrid might not be a bad window to open up to them? I was kind of thinking of something maybe like Hybrid 1.
Yeah, we'll see. We haven't seen quite a bit of much action going on, and Frick's coming for a long. I'm guessing it's going to be LN2 at this point. Frick is more specialized in more of the LN coordination, and there you go. Netherlands going to pick Jilly Chow their own protect just to get point on the board here, pretty much.
There is something interesting about picking your protect this early. as Potassium didn't know in the previous match that you like going for your protect before the second ban phase might be a bit of a risk, because you might want to be saving that for after the ban phase if you do have some more other comfortable maps to go through. But maybe in the case of Netherlands, that might not be it.
Well, it might as well just be better to late than never in Netherlands' case anyway. Knowing that they have a compatible and more or less just competent LN players to do LN coordination kind of like this, it's definitely just a challenge what Australia can do, and I think this would be one of those cases.
I would absolutely. I think maybe Netherlands also are probably just going to be jumping into whatever makes them comfortable, just so they can, apply 2 more maps. In a way, I think this map is very important for Netherlands' mentality going into the next few maps.
Yeah, Netherlands still needs to get this though. However, otherwise they would probably having running out of options, knowing that EX2 might not be as comfortable because it's just a completely different entire pick, and this is really what dictates just the pick in general. And so far though, I think let's start with the first miss, even though that's just the intro, but the intro is just what really pretty much sets the theme going forward. And I think Lakestar doesn't really have that luxury to get accuracy, knowing that he's releasing very late. And Tyrannus, even though the first miss there, accuracy wise, Op4 and Freak is trying to challenge it out.
Coming off the intro, it is going to be Freak holding onto the MVP with the 99.82. Something you have to really watch out for this map as well is some of those Rice notes in between some of those LNs as well. Can definitely be hard in the dexterity wise, but it doesn't really seem like a problem for these players. Really, this map is just about if you can keep your flow state, then you should be golden. Tyrannix does find another miss, but traded back by Linksar. It seems that Netherlands does have the accuracy advantage.
Yeah, it's just the thing is that Linksar has missed like so many times, and then accompanied with a lot of accuracy drops from Tyrannix. Even though Tyrannix missed like a couple times already, but the accuracy is still staying just about around 99 territory, or just around there, which it definitely really helps. But at the same time, to the same token though, you kind of don't want to combo break very much either, as the score difference is not even that changing.
Yeah, absolutely. And heading into the final 8 of the map, it seems Linksar, Tyrannix still kind of that tug of war trending back between, but Oct4 and Freak acting as the anchors for their sides of the teams respectively. It's going to be Freak who's currently winning the accuracy battle when we get to the last spurt of the map, and it looks like Netherlands are going to be taking their protects respectfully.
That is an amazing performance of a carry there for both Oct and Freak. My goodness, we 6200s on this though. Let me remind everyone that 6200s on LN coordination is just something of a rarity nowadays. You can't even get like more than tens of 200s and whatnot. And I think getting 6 on this is absolutely insane. And then let's get the first point on the board. So this is pretty much a sign of relief, pretty much, for Netherlands.
This is the morality boost I think Netherlands needs jumping into the next few picks as well. Because if they can perform something like that again, they have a lot more opportunities on the LN and even the hybrid sides as well to get through. But now for Australia, I would not be surprised if Australia jump into another Rice.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, even I think even Australia can try to challenge with EX1 in this case. If they have the capability of trying to outscore, well, there goes what I said. It's EX1, so in it goes.
Okay, EX1. This is going to be interesting. Australia just jumping straight into the deep end with this.
I'm kind of wondering if if Links are actually just having to watch this stream on the side and hearing me talking about the next pick, and then just immediately on the out of sight, out of mind, just pick this.
They just hear what we're gonna predict what they're picking. They're just like, you know what? Let's just pick this instead. Just throwing us completely off our feet for the entertainment.
But yeah, very difficult pick to go from, and I think Australia's really pretty much targeting their physicality, and it's not really so much of a physicality issue, but I think it's just more of a how complex the transition-based pattern is. I think Australia should have this in the back, even like such a commanding performance in like Totetsu Banban from Rise 5 earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this map kind of does share a lot of those aspects from Rise 5, as you were saying, with them picking Rise 5 earlier. It does have a lot of those burst dump, it does have a lot of that dump, some of those unique snappings, bit of mini jacks. A lot to be taken from Rise 5, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's some truth to it. It's just can't really know for sure because we haven't seen to some extent. I think Monster and Tyranix play Rise 5, so either Freak is playing this or maybe probably waiting for it to be switched out. But that's a interesting thought to consider.
Yeah, to be honest, I could probably see Monster jumping into this, but no, it doesn't seem like it. Freak is still going to be playing for this Rise pick, which I'm very interested to see. Again, it's kind of more that show don't tell vibe, so we'll have to see how 4 these players will perform on this.
Yeah, we'll see what this actually entails, though, for both. I guess for both of these teams, really, knowing that they should be pretty much capable of handling this. It's even though this is EX, which is much more difficult than their regular counterparts of Rise picks in general. This should be interesting to see now. Even though so far, great start actually for both teams. Really, nothing so much of note on having more drops.
Yep, both teams getting off to a really good start. Actually, slightly on the side of Australia, but as we do head into the main key eyes of this map, things are subject to change. And of course, this is 3.5 minutes as well, so that mental stamina also has to take in that toll.
Ooh, actually now the score is starting to flash back and forth. Actually, Links are in off 4, dropping to just about 99.5, and apparently for Netherlands as well, Freak just around the same territory as off 4. Tyranix under 99.4.
So Netherlands are slightly bit behind, but everyone's still holding on to that full combo on this pretty simple chord stream area, I would say. But now, as we're kind of getting more into the mid-jacks, Tyranix is going to be the first to fall. Going to be taking a pretty decent drop as well, losing 0.2% accuracy, but Links are Freak as well, trailing alongside. It is just Oct 4 right now, still holding on to that full combo, that 99.5, being the anchorman for their side. And as the first drop does conclude, we will have to see if the back half will treat all these players fairly.
Well, it's kind of pretty much this is kind of what transitions. I think the mini jacks on this one is pretty much on the difficult side, knowing it's just isolated, and it seems like quite a lot of accuracy drops actually for all these players, apart from all 4, which has been pretty much just staying around 99.5 range, and even Freak is actually also increasing as well. But Tyranix, on the other hand, just to under 99.2.
So Tyranix will have to play a bit of catch up, but Freak finding that drop as well going to be giving Australia that advantage running into the final quarter. But the chord stream does get a bit heavier as we're seeing now heading into the final quarter of the map. And this is where the stamina will have to be taking that big impact. Tyranix as well going to be losing their combo. So Australia going to be having this very big advantage on this chord stream area heading into the final area of the map.
Netherlands is taking way too many damage there. Links are also taking trading as well, but it's only 1 versus like 4 or 5 business already, and I think the only sole survivor out of the catastrophe is just all-core at this point, and knowing even though it's still just around 10-15 seconds or so in the chart, I think Australia pretty much has this on the back, with all-core potentially having a full combo now.
Come on, after 4, you can do this.
Yep, looks like yep, this is looking like a really strong showing for all-core there. The soulful combo for EX1.
And a 980k at that as well. Very impressive score. Even looking at Linksar as well, having the best 200 count.
Yeah, this is looking shaping to be somewhat interesting, knowing that the ratios are pretty similar against each other, no? Like 1875 for Australia and 1915 for Netherlands, which is just around all around very similar, but it's just the miscount for Netherlands is what really digs the hole much deeper.
Yeah, Netherlands definitely were a bit behind when it did come to the final KI. Was a bit behind, but you know, it is pretty much seen in the EX pick. It's definitely going to be a bit more physical and a bit more draining compared to the rest of the map pool. So Netherlands definitely still have that good potential when it does come to, I would say, more of the straightforward race. So maybe Netherlands could jump into Rice one, any D at Rice, to be honest. But
hey, I mean,
what?
I mean, as a prior experience that Australia is picking EX1 right as I say that, maybe Netherlands trying to go for maybe a hybrid one. Maybe it could be a decent solution to that. Either hybrid one or EX2, because that's the only like sort of Ellen bias kind of patterns I think for hybrid one, and World Execute EX2, which is also like a Ellen mix kind of pick that I think Netherlands can go for.
Yeah, I would say definitely for Netherlands to kind of stay on the safer side, as you were saying. Hybrid or EX2. The horrible sounding one. Which one's that? Let me guess. It's gonna be hybrid one.
Oh yeah, well. Okay. All right. Wait, hang on. The bad version of Tetoris. What does that mean? Okay, yeah, there you go. Well,
yeah.
I guess that's 2 for 2. So I guessed right, and then they're gonna have to pick this eventually.
Oh yeah, 100%. So this is the Shigeru UI version of Tetris. Said the original Nintendo cover.
I mean, oh yeah, I guess. I understand why it was called the bad version, because I didn't get it the first time, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, that's 100% fair. I mean, to be honest, I do prefer the Nintendo version myself, but we'll have to see if the music does get in the flow state of these people. You know, I wonder if anyone on the side of Netherlands had changed the audio with the Nintendo version instead.
Well, I mean, I have zero recollection of it. This song of like being heard anywhere else. So it's just if this is like some sort of cover, then I guess it just fits. I really can't say anything more than that.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. This map, well, you just have to transition into the Rice and the Ellen walls pretty well, I guess. It can be pretty comfortable, but uncomfortable at the same time. It's a very hybrid-esque map. That's the way I would describe it.
Well, I mean, as far as generic hybrid goes, this is it's pretty much what you would expect from like most I guess rank spread 7 key charts that follow this kind of style. Yeah, this is just one of those.
Yeah, this map pretty much screams hybrid in your face. And we'll have to see that when we do get into it. Of course, starting off with our pretty simple mini rice course stream area, but now kicking off into the map, Tyrannic's going to be the first loser combo. Bit struggling on the accuracy, seeing a bit of early releases on the side of them as well. So that's both full combos on the side of Netherlands gone, which is going to be pretty rough for them.
Yeah, it's already like a 30,000 point lead, knowing that the misses coming out from both the Dutch here. It's like 98s and just around mid 99s there for Australia, and Australia just keeping it together at this point.
Absolutely. Lynxer is going to be the first one to fall on the side of Australia, but was definitely more of a cleaner miss compared to the side of Netherlands. And as we're heading out of the first draft as well, you can definitely see that Australia does. Like, all these players do have some really good control, but it is Netherlands who's going to be fighting a lot more of those combo breaks.
Yeah, well, this is quite a commanding lead overall. This is, even though this is we're reaching at the halfway point, this is as big as a lead as you can ever get out of this.
It seems 100% Australia definitely leading the pack, and especially that the ending does get a bit denser compared to what we have seen to start. I think Netherlands are going to have to lead the stars to align if they do want to take this point back. If not, Australia will have a pretty comfortable break point. And Netherlands definitely holding on pretty well. Monster fighting that miss, but their control is excellent heading into the ending.
Yeah, but it really doesn't tell the whole story, knowing that even though they're holding well, this is also their own pick, which is scary to think that Australia can do this well, like very, very well. Maybe all four could actually be a potentially also have a full combo there as well, so pretty scary thought.
And that is going to be the end of the map. Oct 4 going to be getting the full combo.
21-200s, okay, dude. And even with a slider break as well for Lynxer, so technically it could be considered a full combo as well.
I do believe someone did say in the chat that Oct 4 wasn't even using Percy for this, which just like, very impressive reading. But now, as we are through the halfway point, the second ban phase will be initiated.
Yeah, Australia rolling a 76, which is pretty high. I mean, Netherlands has a 24% chance of winning that. It depends if the failure rate is actually gonna be that high, interesting, maybe. I mean, this is what happens when you train with the like 24% failure rate, right? Yeah, we'll see. We haven't seen quite the roller just yet. Maybe we're just still waiting to see what happens. Well, it's just the reverse. Well, Netherlands failed not failed really. I mean, technically, kinda. So Netherlands will be banning second out of that, and Australia will be having the opportunity to ban the second one. I swear, I've seen the roll like for the second time in the tournament, and it hasn't gone well. I think Potassium has seen that, so well, shoutouts to Potassium for that one. Alright, so Australia, actually interesting. Australia banning World Execute and EX2. So Netherlands will not have the option to pick any LN picks right after this. So Netherlands, interestingly though, I think Netherlands should probably just banning EX3 maybe. And well, I guess Netherlands wants a timeout, so tactical timeout that it is, but they still have to making sure that they have a ban right there. kind of interested to see because I think most of the rice picks have been kind of untouched by by both teams really, apart from Totetsu Bonbon from Rice 5 early that Australia picked. So eventually, I think Netherlands will probably have to get a ban one of those. But to the same token, though, I think Hybrid 2 and EX3 is out in the open as well. All right, okay, let's hear what the decision they have to make here. Oh, actually, EX3 would be the ban for Netherlands here. So no mini tiebreaker hybrids. So that means all EX picks are gone. So what's left is just the Ryzen hybrid. Kind of interesting set of ban situation. Knowing EX picks are gone, Rice pick, all that's left is the Rice 1 until 4. And then the hybrid is what Australia have protected is in hybrid 3 with Slap on Iron Fire, or Pudding, a hybrid 2.
Okay, so does look like Australia. Did Australia win the roll?
Yeah, Australia won the roll. Australia rolled 76, and Netherlands lost the roll. I won't tell you what roll it is, but they definitely lost the roll. But
alright, so they
Australia,
failed.
Australia, they failed the training rig. Yeah.
Mood awful.
All right, Australia is picking reach for your victory. I mean, I guess it's fitting for them, right? They have to reach for their victory.
Oh yeah, they have to reach for the victory, and especially now that they are on the halfway point. I see someone in chat saying the forbidden number. That might be a referee, but okay, here we are.
Well,
Rice 4.
The referee is already putting it out there. So, well, here you go.
All right, back to action. It looks like Oct 4 might be getting subbed out for this pick, so I'm really kind of curious to see who's going to be jumping in for this.
Yeah, well, this is actually just interesting. I think I'm not sure where Off 4 is, but I think like they probably shouldn't have switch out any of the other players, or either they want to bring out a cameo for Australia because there's also Willow and Orcanos in this case. But nope, Australia will be sticking with the same players. Same as this for Netherlands actually. No Frigg, just Monster and Tyronics.
Yeah, that's 100% seeable for this pick. It's probably going to be the lineup, of course, we have seen the most, but Rice 1. So this is going to be 256 BPM, and I think this is going to be a pick where Netherlands can definitely put up a good fight and potentially take back the breakpoint as well. Like, we have seen their accuracy, but will they have the consistency to hold on to?
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next 15 seconds or so, because that's where the stream starts to kick in.
And that's where you have to start truly reaching, I guess. And here we are, kicking into some late streams. Actually, it is a bit more settled, very close between either side. But now as we start to get more jumps in, Oct 4 is going to be the first one.
Actually, Oct 4 is missing is pretty huge for me in this one, because knowing that Oct 4 is usually the main carry, I think most of the full combos have been for them. No full combos on Australia's side, actually. Netherlands is on the lead now, and they're reaching for their own victory here.
This is the star alignment that Netherlands needs. Although the actually is still very close. I do believe that was the boundary display Link Star. But that wasn't.
Monster was also trading it out, actually.
Okay, there's no full combo.
Wait. Oh my god, okay. We're back to square one, then It seems like I mean, Awkward has been stabilized in the accuracy, the 99.4. Yeah, apart from like the one mistake that Awkward did came earlier, I'm not too sure what happened here.
Actually, now kind of looking at it, it does seem Australia is going to be going back to the advantage.
Oh no.
Desync. I think that is a desync. Trust me, it scared me a lot earlier as well.
Well, well, I mean, we have to gonna play out with the three screens that are happening right now.
Okay, so let's see what's happening. Tyranics did break their combo as just as we're heading into the break part. Not really where you want to break combo, but you know, we still have the back half, so anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, so far, no, actually, even the trades by Tyrants and Linsar, I'm kind of wondering, hypothetically, I feel like even Off 4 can probably reach that amount of difference, I feel like. And knowing that Monster did haven't missed like just around 1,000 combo by now, it's definitely a much higher score than Linsar and Tyranics for sure. And I think Tyranics matched Linsar's score even.
Alright, here we are heading into the final part of the map. Links are not on the combo advantage, but if Neverland can still hold on to this ending, Monster Tyranics still stabilizing the accuracy a bit, but will it be enough as we're heading into the very end where the bursts are still going to continue for these last few seconds? I think they're going to do it. They're going to hold on to their combo at the end. It seems like it.
Yeah, well, even though we're still gonna have to check the MP link out of that because we haven't. This is a question mark because if Up4 submitted this score, then we'll have to see.
Apparently, it is not going to submit, but again, as we said, we'll have to see. Same 200 count on the side of Tyranics and Monster. With 972k outside of the three of those MVPs, things are going to be getting 17,200s as well. Very nice control of PA, and of course, everyone having very similar ratio as well.
Yeah, we haven't seen out of it the outcome just yet, but I think this would be a point for Netherlands, knowing that Ock4 did not successfully submit the score, so it would be a break point for Netherlands out of an unfortunate circumstance at this point. There you go, 974k lead for Netherlands there. Out of Ock4's potential disconnects, I feel like.
Very unfortunate on the side of Australia, but unfortunately these things do happen, and this give Netherlands that boost, taking back that break point, so that potentially does equalize it when they go into their next pick.
Yeah, well, this is one of. I mean, this is. They have to be like, at least having some more fighting chance, knowing that they're still not out of the woods yet. So, what are the options? Because they don't have EX2 as its big ban, as a second ban for Australia. So what's left is just the rise of the hybrid.
I'm not 100% sure on what Australia might go for. Now, what I'm kind of looking at, I think they did have a good, like, despite the disconnect, I think they actually did have a pretty nice performance on Rice 1. So maybe if they'd want to go into something like, if they want to continue going into more Rice, so maybe something like, I would probably say something like Rice 3 maybe.
Faster court stream is pretty dangerous though, at least. For knowing Australia's comboing ability and consistency and accuracy and everything, so it really is not a good thing, I think, for Netherlands trying to go for either Rice 2 and Rice 3. I think they have to go with the Hail Mary. I think in this case it would be having to pick Pudding, Hybrid 2, or Core Jack. That's the only two options that I think Netherlands should have a fighting chance here.
I feel like just looking at the raw accuracy from Monster Tyranics, Rise 4 is definitely a pretty viable option, I would say, for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go into Rise 4 as well. I would say I'm probably going to guess Rise 4, but maybe that might not happen as the ref might be choosing the role to pick.
Well, we're still waiting for. Well, I guess the Fridge should have picked out what to pick there, and yeah, there you go. It's either. Well, for me, I think it's either Rise 4 or Hybrid 2 in this case. I think Hybrid 3 as a. Oh, okay. Well, not this time. So faster core stream it is. Rise 3 coming out of Netherlands.
You definitely were right in saying it is a dangerous pick, as it definitely was likely that Oct to get that 973, but it probably would have had to been near full combo. So what is different about this map compared to Reach Victory? It is going to be a bit more snappy, that's what I would say. Which, what we have seen from Rise 5, Australia were pretty comfortable on as well. So, I don't know, this can go either way to be honest. But there's not a lot of picks that Netherlands could go for. Sure, there's Rise 4 and potentially Hybrid 2 as well, but after that, what do you go into?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure because I will see because I think it's up to the referee's discretion of whether or not Rise 3 will be allowed because I think they have ran out of pick timer. I feel like I'm not sure. We'll see.
Yeah, time will pretty much tell, and yeah, I guess time will tell.
Okay, I think. Okay, hypothetically, I feel like Race 3, in hindsight, is well, I'd say it's a bad pick, but in regards to everything else, I think this is still better than Rise 2 in terms of just picking a strategy. Even though I still don't like this as a pick, but it's still definitely not the worst.
It's definitely a pick that I think could have been utilized better. But not a bad pick, but pretty risky, I would say. Especially that it is 2-free and Australia do have that potential match point.
Yeah, I think in this case, I think both of these teams are probably still utilizing the same players. I don't think Freak is playing in this one either, knowing that it's not a lobby, or at least just still the same monster and Tyronics here in this case.
Yeah, I would say that as well. Now, that's probably what I'm concerned about most of this match, but we'll have to see if these players are ready.
Still waiting for everyone to ready up, and I'm honestly scared for Netherlands. if anything, I'm just concerned if this pick is actually paying off for that reason.
I would probably say that too, but looking at the chat, does seem like Linksar might be having problems as well. Doesn't seem like he can connect, so maybe some more internet issues on the side of Australia?
Okay, yeah, I think we might have to reset up for of the players in the lobby. I think feel like. Yeah, there you go. Maybe waiting for Linksar to pick back up in.
I would say something to say while we're waiting, but well, I think we said a lot. But now, I guess we just have to wait. We do apologize.
Well, okay, so so I mean the scoreline is like 3-2, which I think even if Netherlands losing this, it would still have a one more shot of making things right. So if this goes to 4-2, I'm interested to see what Australia decides to pick after this.
I think every pick in a Saint is definitely risky at this point. I think it's just all bets are off. That's the way I would say it.
I mean, okay. This might sound a little bit interesting, or at least this might sound a little bit smart, but I think Australia protecting Hybrid 3 is kind of the very last resort of a trump card that I think Australia has.
Oh, absolutely. I actually did forget about that. I think I was more tunnel visioned of the Netherlands picking their protecting their first pick that I just completely forgot about Australia's. So Australia definitely do have that wild card in play. And I think now that everyone's back in, we can finally get through with this.
All right. I think we should be sorted out. So hopefully, no other issues coming out after this. I mean, I'm not gonna jinx it, surely, but well, you never know. You never know what's about to happen.
You never know what happens in the World Cup.
All right, there we go. I mean, hopefully no disconnect this time, or at least no one's actually desync in the middle of the chart like the one where the Rice won earlier.
Oh, please. Okay. Here we go. Actually, I'm actually really surprised to see Netherlands performing this well against Seed 8. Those kind of made me interested to see what would have happened if Australia beat Ireland. I would be interested to see that matchup play out. But
Well,
hey, we're only we only live in one timeline, I guess. Unless you're living in Steins Gate.
Encore is not doing as best as you would have hoped them to perform, but actually, all Netherlands broke the combos now, so it's just 2 FCs to none, really.
Yeah, 100%. And actually, that's going to be free full combos out the way. But really, the accuracy on the side of Australia coming out of that first chord stream is going to be giving them that big advantage. It is a pretty short map in 2 minutes, but you do get a lot of breaks as well. So it's pretty much stop and go, essentially, as I would say. But Tyrannic's going to be funny enough to miss alongside Monster again. That's going to be their second chain miss. And it is only going to be greasing a score lead on the side of Australia as we do get into the final third of the map.
Yeah, this is already a solid lead there. I mean, as far as solid can go, this is just about what you would expect from misses coming out from Netherlands. Sort of consecutively, I feel like. And only one mistake coming out from Lingsar, and it's just really that how dominant that Australia has been in terms of like core strip and everything. It's definitely more than well enough to beat out Netherlands in this case.
Absolutely. And yeah, I don't think there's just going to be enough time for Netherlands, unfortunately. Monster is going to be finding that potential final miss. And that's going to be it. Going to be a double 980k on the side of Australia. Very impressive team score. Going to be 200s as well on the side of Linksar, but that one miss as well is going to be hindering. Wow.
Yeah, Ock4 being the MVP, but not by a whole lot, really. I think not opening as well as you would might expect him to open for Ock4, but full combo is a full combo regardless, so... And yeah, there you go. Very targeted pick there by Australia there. Picking their very last resort if anything ever happens to them. It is going to be Sapphire on Fire, Hybrid 3.
pretty much expected from Australia to pick this. Ironic how this. Well, if Australia wins this pick, it would be pretty ironic as this was also the final pick for the previous match, which was Vietnam versus the UK. So, interested to see how this goes. Hybrid 3 gonna be, I do believe, your techie hybrid. So, it does make sense why Australia would protect something like this, especially after the performance in previous technical picks. But
A double swap from Netherlands?
and look what they're saying in the chat. Oh my god. Okay, so
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing two things here. One is that say the thing, and then the Alt 4 is saying he's particularly excited for this pick, isn't he?
maybe it's time to shine. Maybe you might get a 990 on this, which would be absolutely amazing. Okay, we'll swap on the side of Netherlands. Going to be Noah DJJ and Freak. Outside of Australia, there's actually been no swaps at all yet. So
I mean, Australia's other, I guess the substitutes have been Willow, which I think Willow is strictly a BMS or just pretty much purely Rice player, and I believe also Oricon is also like pretty much a substitute for Ellen picks. I feel like, but I feel like maybe this is a bit too hard for them, so I think having both of them is pretty much dead set from the beginning. I feel.
yeah, absolutely. And this is definitely going to be very brutal. Freak going to be taking a very early drop, but again, with very early drops, you do have that time to recover. But this map definitely shows its difficulty. On the speed, first of all, 175 BPM with this techie hybrid is not easy, especially for round of 16. Linksar is going to be the second person to find that drop as well. You're kind of jumping between a lot of those streams alongside those LNs for the early part. But when you do get into the later half of the map, you're going to be seeing a lot more of those techie flams, some of those mini jacks, Linksar, Noah, and Free.
Oh, actually, Break. And I mean, lo and behold, who's actually going to be the excited one out of all 4 players now? It's Oct 4.
Does he know? I think Octor just knows. But okay, on that 99.57, not at that 990, but on that 980k pace, which would be very impressive also. But as we do head into the back half, we're going to be seeing a lot more of that physical jump into play. I think even Netherlands are starting to climb up their accuracy as well. It's just Oct 4 acting as the anchor. Freak finding that drop again, which is halting the progress ever so slightly.
Yeah, it's looking just about 20,000 point away, but they're not out of the woods yet. We still have quite a bit to go with the just more sporadic or just abrasive transitions of mini jacks and shields everywhere. So it's really just up in the air, but apparently not quite what you would expect them for Netherlands to do there. So it's just widening out to like 30,000 by this point. And I feel like even we're reaching to the near 10 seconds of the chart, even though with Linksar drop is not going to be nearly enough to do that. Unfortunately though, Netherlands will be the one to be eliminated this time, and they have to say goodbye for the 7K World Cup 2026. Australia will be moving on to the lower bracket of the quarterfinals there, so congratulations for them.
And I could see why Oct 4 definitely said he was going to have fun with this. 986k, very impressive score. Just very impressive scores from everyone as well, and very well done to all the players in this match. Unfortunately, as always, there can only be one person going through, and that is going to be Australia today. But Netherlands definitely put up a really strong fight. I do believe, especially, like, I definitely think Netherlands surprised Australia, especially how close some of the scores to get. And they should definitely be an upcoming threat for any future tournaments they do decide to participate in.
Yeah, absolutely. Knowing Netherlands is a force to be reckoned with. Knowing they took 2 points out of Australia, and there's no easy feat. Out of all picks that has been shown so far, it's definitely one of those I guess for Netherlands, in Netherlands' case, picking LN2 was actually a stroke of a really, really good thing to do, and I think Australia is kind of be caught off guard. I feel like for most of the Olympics, and I think they have to step it up for in the lower bracket of quarterfinals, because otherwise the opponent for the next matchup for Australia will be not easy at all, and even with the quarterfinals map pool is that is definitely a scary thing to do.
Oh yeah, quarterfinals map pool is definitely going to be one to look out for as well. So for Australia next week, well, they better be putting on their best performance again. So now here we are into the next matchup. Going to be jumping straight back into it. It is going to be none other than South Korea versus Canada.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting knowing. I mean, actually, for the next matchup is not for long. Actually, it's just around 3 minutes, so we kind of don't have to wait for very long either. So once all said and done, and it's pretty much all systems go really. So it should be well, it should be interesting to know that the only matchup left is just those two. Well, I guess we already shown that South Korea versus Canada is the first one, and the last one is going to be Brazil versus Portugal, which is also an interesting matchup as well. So, but yeah, that is what we'll all have to say for that matter. And even though they still have like around 2 minutes, though, we pretty much don't go anywhere really. I think just around 2 minutes there, we gonna have probably around a switch of a commentator really. So stay tuned for that. And this has been me for Nightcore as well, and maybe Nightcore as well for commentary. So we'll be signing off.
Thank you.